Welcome to the Gilbert Sheet Metal and Engineering team. This is your general employment induction. This video will cover some of the most important aspects of your employment here. This video is supplementary to your employment agreement and employee handbook. Please ensure that you have completely read both, as you are expected to know, understand and follow all the terms, conditions and policies contained in both. Gilbert Sheet Metal Engineering was started in 1987 in Avondale, Auckland. Our reputation has been earned by delivering innovative solutions and services that add value for our customers. We are passionate about our industry and take pride in offering superior design and practical solutions. We have a wealth of experience and a broad range of skills. We take on a very wide range of work, including production fabrication as well as custom work. We are specialists in site work, electrical cabinets and shipwright work. Gilbert Sheet Metal is committed to providing a workplace which is free from discrimination. Under the Human Rights Act, it is unlawful to treat someone differently based on their race, colour, ethnic or national origins, gender, age, marital status, ethnical and religious beliefs, political opinion, employment status, sexual orientation, family status or disability. As such, you are expected to be respectful of everyone you come into contact with and take care not to judge based on these previously listed factors. In return, you should be expected to be treated without discrimination by management, your supervisor and colleagues. You are expected to be courteous and considerate in all dealings with other people. You must not use language or conduct intended to or likely to cause offence. You must comply with all reasonable instructions from your supervisor or management. You must perform your duties with care, skill and diligence, devoting all your time during normal working hours to carry out your duties. You are expected to communicate with management and your supervisor in good faith at all times. No form of harassment, bullying or intimidation will be tolerated. Your ordinary working hours are included in Schedule 1 of your contract. You are required to work these hours at a minimum. The plant runs Monday to Friday for a minimum of 8 hours a day and often also on Saturday mornings. All staff are expected to work a minimum of 40 hours per week and extra hours as required to meet the company's commitments. If you are required to work hours extra to the standard hours indicated in Schedule 1 of your employment agreement, you will be notified by your supervisor as far in advance as possible. If for any reason you are unable to work extra hours temporarily, please advise your supervisor as soon as possible. Meal and rest breaks are to be taken at the time specified in Schedule 1 of your employment agreement. If you are working at 40 Cartwright Road, a siren will sound to advise you of your break times. If you are working in the office at 41B Cartwright Road or on site, you will be responsible for taking your break at the allocated times independently. If you are unable to take your break at the agreed time, you must take the break as soon as you are able. If you start before or after your normal starting time, you may vary your break times in agreement with your supervisor, depending on how long your workday will be. It is an absolute requirement of your employment that you take all breaks at or near to the times agreed for health and safety purposes. All unpaid meal breaks will be deducted from your hours worked for payroll, whether you take them or not. You are required to keep records of your attendance and what jobs you work on during the day using our time capture software. This software is available on all work computers and in each workshop on a specified time clock computer. You'll be shown by your manager how to log in and to clock to jobs using the system. It is your responsibility to ensure your timesheet is complete and correct every single day. You'll be given a job number and tasked by your supervisor. You must ensure you enter this information correctly into the time clock. You must ensure you select the correct labour code for the work you are completing. You should make notes of any issues you have with completing jobs. Only you are allowed to log into the time clock as yourself to keep your time record. You should not at any time for any reason log into the time clock as anyone else, nor make changes to anyone else's timesheet. Only your direct supervisor has the authority to amend your timesheet, and only in order to ensure it correctly reflects work completed. Your supervisor will make changes directly in the timesheet and attendance record and will not log into the time clock as you. If you have any questions, corrections or queries on your timesheet, you must speak to your direct supervisor. Acceptable reasons to be absent from work include pre-approved annual leave, illness or injury, bereavement, or other special leave as allowed by legislation. You are required to complete a leave application form for any and all absences from work during your normal working hours. This includes for holidays, sickness, injury, bereavement, or any other reason you are absent from work. If you are absent due to bereavement, you must provide evidence such as an obituary or funeral program. This must be provided before bereavement leave will be approved. Appointments should be made outside normal working hours for non-urgent commitments. Leave forms must be completed for urgent appointments with as much notice as possible. Special leave for medical appointments may be approved only at a management's discretion. Parental and domestic violence leave must be applied for following legislation requirements. Visit the IRD website for more information on this. From when you first start work until your first Christmas, you will accrue 8% of your wages as holiday pay. You will see this dollar amount increase weekly on your payslip. Before your first Christmas, this total amount will be paid out to you in full. After this, you will start to accrue holiday days. You will then become entitled to 20 holiday days just before your second Christmas. This shows by full year on your payslip. This is leave that you are entitled to take. To apply for annual leave, you must complete a leave application form. You will find paper copies of these in pockets outside the production office. Give your completed form directly to Tisha or leave it on her desk. Your leave form will be processed and returned to your supervisor, who will advise you of the outcome. If you wish to take annual leave you are entitled to, you must give at least 2 weeks' notice, otherwise your leave may be declined. If another member of your team already has leave approved during the time you are applying, your application is likely to be declined. To avoid this, make sure you give as much notice as possible so your leave is approved first. Take leave during quieter periods, such as August-September. Don't book anything until your leave is approved. If you don't hear back about your leave application within a couple of days, speak to your manager or HR. Applications to use accrued annual leave, which is showing on your pay slip next to current year, will not be approved. You are not yet entitled to take this leave. No annual leave will be approved during November or before close down in December. These are our busiest months. Unpaid leave will not be approved unless all other types of leave are exhausted and only in exceptional circumstances at the discretion of management. The company as a whole closes for 2 to 3 weeks from just before Christmas until after New Year. This normally uses 10 to 12 annual leave days. Leave applications may be declined to ensure you have enough leave entitlement to cover this period. You will be advised several weeks in advance what the close down dates will be. Some staff may be asked to work during the close down period. If you are not able to come to work when agreed due to illness, injury or bereavement, you are required to call your supervisor and speak to them. Texts and emails are not acceptable as it is possible they may not see these during their busy mornings. All staff are provided with the mobile phone number of their direct supervisor when they start. Make sure you put this in your phone. You must call prior to your start time, within half an hour, to advise of your absence. When you call, please let your manager know the reason for the absence, when you expect to be back at work. If you are absent on a Monday, Friday, or are absent due to an injury, advise your supervisor that you will send them your doctor's certificate. If you are injured, advise your supervisor that you will send them the ACC form. If you are absent for 3 consecutive days, you must provide a doctor's certificate at your own expense. This applies to everyone. This is 3 consecutive calendar days, not working days, so you will always need to provide a doctor's certificate for absences on Mondays and Fridays or days before and after long weekends. If you are injured, we require you to visit a doctor straight away. You should not be absent due to injury without a medical certificate and ACC form provided on the first day of your absence. We may require that you visit a company-selected doctor rather than your normal GP. We will advise you if this is the case. Your doctor's certificate should be produced as soon as it is obtained. This can be provided by PICS or email. You don't need to bring it in person. If you have sustained an injury and have not completed an accident report, you must come in and complete the paperwork as soon as possible, unless you are physically unable to do so. As a company, we aim to reduce the number of days off due to injury to zero. This means that unless you are unable to move, we can find something for you to do. So if you are injured, we will talk to you about what other work you can be doing until you are fit to return to your normal job. We follow a standard New Zealand disciplinary system. If there is an issue where you may not be following company policies or procedures, you'll be invited to attend a formal meeting. You'll be advised of the allegations and of the potential consequences should the allegation be upheld. You are entitled and encouraged to have a support person at the meeting. During the meeting, you'll be given an opportunity to respond to the allegations. Your response and any mitigating circumstances will be considered before a decision is made. If the decision is made to issue a warning, this will be provided to you in writing. You will be advised of any corrective action that is required and the consequences of further assistance. All warnings are of general effect and remain in effect for 12 months. There are 3 stages to the formal disciplinary procedure, with 2 written warnings being issued prior to the dismissal for the 3rd instance. Verbal warnings may be issued and are a precursor to these stages. Where misconduct is considered serious enough, a final written warning or dismissal may be issued without a written warning preceding it. You will be paid weekly on a Thursday. The pay week runs from Wednesday to Tuesday. Payment for the previous Wednesday to Tuesday is made on the Thursday immediately following. Your payslip will be emailed weekly to the email address provided on your employee detail form. It is your responsibility to check your payslip for errors. It is your responsibility to update your email address with the company if it changes. Any issues with your pay should be raised directly with Tisha. Should you wish to discuss any concerns or make a formal complaint for any reason, you should speak to your supervisor in the first instance. If for any reason you do not feel comfortable raising the issue with your supervisor, you may go directly to either Mike or Tisha. If your supervisor is able, they may address the issue themselves as soon as they are able. If the issue is more serious, your supervisor will likely refer it to the senior management for resolution. A member of senior management will conduct a thorough investigation of all allegations. External advice may be sought. A solution or resolution will be put forward and once agreed to, will be implemented. All complaints will be treated confidentially in fairness and the victim protected as and where appropriate. If you wish to resign, or for any reason your employment is terminated or your role is made redundant, your employment agreement must be terminated by giving notice for the period specified in Schedule 1 of your agreement. So that covers the basics. Please ensure you get these right, as they are the foundations of your employment. If you have any questions, please ask your manager.